What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to tonight's live. If we've never met before, my name is Carmen. I am your Savvy System sister, and I am so excited to be here this evening talking all things systems. My favorite thing to talk about. But today we're going to do something a little different. We're not just talking about uh, the systems. Well, we're gonna do that a little bit. But we are talking about the systems that operate that you don't even know that operator. Okay, so for many of us, we've been working, living, moving on default, and we're not doing that no more. Good evening, Dr. Brown. Dr. Brown said, "Good evening. What's up, girl? Good to see you." That's my cousin, y'all. Well, not really, but we could be. We got the same last name, so it works. So tonight we are talking about all about operating in your personal operating system. So let's get into it. So when I say the word operating system, I want to know, what is it that you think? What do you think of? Let me know in the chat. When you hear the word operating system, what do you think? So for most people, the answer is, you think about tech, you think about technology, you think about computers. You have an operating system on your phone, you have an operating system on your computer, iOS, Android, all of those things, Windows. But an operating system is simply the one system for whatever that technology is that runs everything. It runs everything in the background. And for many of us, we don't even realize that we too have an operating system that is running in the background of our lives. Now, I got to clear something up. When I say the word systems, most people automatically think technology, like their head as systems tech, and they're actually not the same thing. Systems are the step by step processes that happen, that are working, and we do them over and over and over again. Those are the things, it never stops. Now, your technology, your tools, they support the system, the thing that's running over and over and over again in the background. Your technology actually supports your systems. So tonight we're going to talk about we're not talking about tech tonight. We might say that for another night, where we're talking about the technology that will support your personal operating system. But today we're going to get into your personal operating system. We're going to talk about what it is. I'm going to give you a framework, and we're actually, listen, I'm a teacher at heart, okay? So we're going to take a little quiz or something, maybe. All right. And so, whether you realize it or not, again, you have an operating system, and your personal operating system is the way that you think, it's the way that you decide, it's the way that you manage your time, it's the way, as a CEO, as a founder of your business, your personal operating system supports how you create your income. It also determines how you protect your energy, those boundaries that you set, because, honey, life be life in. So your life and your business, they can run with clarity, they can run with consistency, and they can run in alignment. So if anything feels off, there's likely a something happening in your personal operating system. So we're going to talk about that tonight. As someone who was a proud, overworked educator, and I know that sounds, listen, I was the person that was closing down the school. Okay. And then I was going to come home after I closed down the school, and I was going to work some more. Okay. So when you talk, when you hear me talk about running from job to job in a business, I was doing that at my 9 to 5, honey. I was doing that for other people's kids. Um, but not only was I a proud, overworked educator, I was reprimanded often for my authenticity, which taught me over time that the idea of being seen, the idea of visibility was unsafe. So, as a business owner, you realize that in order for you to have a business and for people to be able to purchase whatever it is that you're offering, you gotta be seen and you gotta be out here in these streets making sure people know who you are, making sure people know that you have a voice. And I'm gonna be honest, working in the school system taught me that being safe was unseen, being unseen or being seen was unsafe, excuse me. So what did I do? I shrunk. So I know what it feels like to shrink. I know what it feels like to overthink. I know what it feels like to question my brilliance. And the education system is what taught me that. It taught me how to shrink. It taught me how to question myself. It taught me all of those things. My kids could I had the highest SOLs. Oh, in Virginia we take the standards of learning, the SOL test. I had the highest SOL scores in the building, but I still questioned whether I was worthy and whether I was good enough at what I was doing. And no, not everything rides on state test scores, but when your babies come to you at a primer level, yet you teach them to the point that they're on grade level when they leave third grade and they can pass that test in third grade, honey, you doing something. And I question that. So if you've ever felt stuck, unseen, or unsure how to move forward, this conversation tonight is for you. That's why I help educators build their personal operating system, and that's what we're going to do today. So today we're going to rate. I'm going to give you a little quiz, but before I give you the quiz, let's talk about what the steps of your operating system are. So, again, your operating system is built on how you decide. What decisions do you make? How do you structure your time? When we're talking about generating, is how do we generate our offers? How do we generate our income? How are we converting our clients? And then how are we sustaining all of that? Those are the things that I want you to think about as we have this conversation this evening. Okay? So let's take a little quiz. I'm gonna read it because it's kind of small on the screen, and if you on like an iPhone, you're like, "Carmen, am I really supposed to see that?" And the answer is yes, but I'll read it to you. I'll read, and I want you to drop your answers in the chat. But unless you're driving, because if you're driving, then don't do that because that's unsafe. Now that is visibility is safe. That is unsafe, so don't do that. And so at the decide phase, so when we're talking about making decisions, I want to know on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 to 10. I'm gonna tell you what a 10 is, and I want you to tell me where you are. At a level 10, you no longer wake up wondering what it is that you should be doing. You have already decided what this season right now requires of you. So when opportunities come up, when distractions show up, when new ideas pop in your head, if I don't know if that happens to you, it happens to me all the time. You don't get pulled in every different direction. You run everything through what you said already matters. And because of that, you're able to move differently. You're not stuck in analysis. You're not waiting to feel ready. You're not looking for someone to confirm what it is that you already know. You trust yourself enough to make decisions and you respect yourself enough to follow through. So it ain't just about making the decisions, and really it ain't just about making the plan. After you make the decision, you plan it out, then we got to execute. That's what makes you powerful. Now that you have, not that you have all the answers, excuse me, but that you move without needing them first. You put one step in front of the other and move, and you move swiftly. Let me know if that's a level 10. What level are you at? Drop it in the chat for me, please. Or unless you're driving, again, because that's unsafe. Let's see. What do we have? All right, or don't. Maybe it'll come through in a minute. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next one. We're talking about structure, and we're talking about the way that we structure our time. If you are at a level 10, your life has a specific rhythm. There's no chaos. You don't react to things in a negative way. You are rhythmic. You're not squeezing your business into your leftover time. You have space for it on purpose. When you sit down to work, you don't have to figure out what it is that you need to do, and you're able to execute what you already decided. And when it's time to rest, you actually rest. There's no guilt, there's no mental to-do list running in the background. Your calendar isn't full of random tasks. Your calendar is actually a reflection of your priorities. And because of that, you feel in control instead of feeling controlled. Let me know what level, if that is a level 10, what level are you at? What level are you at? All right, the next one is generate. So when we are at the generate phase, you don't rely on motivation to make money. You rely on your systems. You wake up knowing how money flows into your life this week. You know what you're offering, so you have a clear offer. You know who it's for, meaning you are clear on your audience, and you know you're showing up so that you can create opportunities. You're not just posting and hoping someone reaches out. You are intentionally creating moments for people to move toward working with you. And even if a week feels slow, you don't panic because you understand the patterns. You trust yourself. Money isn't something that you're chasing, it's something that you are generating on purpose. Let me know. If that is a level 10, what level are you operating at? What level are you operating at in the generate phase? All right, let's keep it moving. All right, now we're at the conversion phase. At a level 10, people don't just watch you, they move with you. They don't have to guess what you do, they don't have to wonder how to work with you. It is very clear how to do those things. From the moment they find you, there is a natural path. They hear you speak, they feel seen, they take the next step. Whether that's joining something, booking a call, or reaching out, they know exactly what to do when they find you. And because you've created clarity, you don't have to chase after people. You're guiding them. You don't have to convince people. You're leading the right people, forward. Let me know where you are on a scale of 1 to 10. Drop it in the comments section. Let us know how you're doing. All right, number 6. Or this is not number 6. This is number 5. Sorry. It's button 6. But that's neither here nor there. Number 6, sustain. And this is all about your energy. You are not building your life from a place of exhaustion if you are at a level 10. You learn how to honor your capacity. You know when you're at your best, and you build around that. You don't say yes to everything. After school tutoring, tutoring in general, staying for the STEM fair, and I did volunteer for that this week. You protect your energy because you understand that your energy It was what allows you to be consistent. You don't stretch yourself thin trying to prove something to everybody. And your consistency is what is building your results. So instead of disappearing when things get overwhelming, you've created a life where you don't have to do that. You can just show up again and again and again and again without burning yourself out, because what you're building actually supports you. Let me know in the comment section where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Are you a 1, a 2, a 3, a 57? Where are you on that scale? If Caden was in here, he would be like, "Ma, you said 1 to 10. 57 is not in between 1 and 10. It is more than 10." I know. I know. I know. So at this stage, you have boundaries, you protect your energy, and again, you are consistent without burnout. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love to see the numbers in the chat. That excites me. Now, I want you to look at your numbers. That's all of them. I want you to look at your numbers. Wherever it is that you are not at a 10, that is where you need a specific system that is going to support you. That's where you notice that your personal operating system, there's something missing in there. Okay? Your personal operating system allows you to run on not on default, but it allows you to run with intention. Anywhere that you're not at 10, there's something that's missing in that particular part of the operating system. And so that's where you want to focus your time and your energy to balance and get all those numbers up so that you're no longer running on default, but you are running more intentionally. It's some of us, we get in our head that we have an issue with discipline. And the fact is, you don't have an issue with discipline. Just because you're at a level 2 or 3 or even a 1, there's not a discipline issue there. There's something in your operating system in your personal operating system that you just have to work on. You know, those computers and them phones, you know how you got to update your operating system on your phone? iOS, if you have an iPad or an iPhone, you gotta update your operating system sometime to fix some things that are happening there. That's the same thing that goes with these systems. Sometimes you've got to update your operating system by creating new systems within that system so that you can uh, update and move more efficiently, more intentional, and more aligned. So now I want to invite you oh, wrong button. Sorry, you guys. I want to invite you to join me for the realignment experience that is going down April 20th through the 24th. Now, we are going to take some time during this week to make sure that we are realigning our operating system. Okay, we're going to make more aligned decisions during the week. We're going to talk about how to align our time. We're going to talk about aligning our revenue. We're going to talk about aligning our workflows. We're going to talk about aligning our energy. We are realigning the entire system this week. Your entire personal operating system, we are working it out April 20th through the 24th. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the comments. And I hope that if you have not already registered, that you plan on joining us for the realignment experience. Y'all, it's going to be a time will be had that week. And I am so excited about it. Now, if you're like, okay, Carmen, but I know I need this and I'm going to be there at the realignment experience. However, I'm looking at all these numbers and the number's not numbering, then you want to make sure that you come to me and book a clarity coffee chat with me. It is a 45-minute call where we are going to get some clarity on what is not operating correctly in your operating system. And we're going to find the gaps so that we can close them. So I dropped that link in the chat as well, so that if you are like, I might need some help with this, then book a call with me, a coffee chat with me, so that we can just talk through it and see what's going on. Um, Now, I'm going to leave the floor open for some questions. If you have a question that you want to get answered live on the call this evening, go ahead, type it in the chat, and we're going to get into our Q&A. I need a graphic right here, right here. It says Q&A. I'm going to work on that for next week. All right, we're going to get into our Q&A. So if you have a question that you want to get answered live on tonight's call, go ahead and drop your question in the chat, and I'm going to make sure that I answer tonight. I didn't get any pre-submitted questions, so we are going to wait a few seconds. I don't see no question coming in the chat, and that's okay. There might be a delay. All right, well, if there are no questions this evening, that is all right. Go ahead, and if you think of a question later, come back to this video, leave your question there so I can see it. It will pop up on my screen just as big as Dave for me, or on my phone or somewhere, so that I can get back to you. And if you want me to message you personally, let me know that too, and I will send you an email or something if you want to get in contact with me. If not, that is all I have for tonight, you beautiful people. I will see you next Sunday, 8 p.m. We're going to do it all over again, where we're going to go live and we're going to talk about your operating system and how we're going to upgrade it in this season. I love you, and we'll talk soon.